The Backrooms. You've been here before. Level 484, the Whiteout. Survival difficulty, Class 0. Safe, under control of entity, uninhabitable. Image caption, the first picture ever taken of the Whiteout. Description: as seen by the ladders, tools, white paint, and other construction materials strewn all over the house, the Whiteout is a massive white house undergoing renovation. Each area is distinct in its own way, even if the space is repetitive and straightforward. The rooms vary in terms of size, shape, and interior furnishings. Despite their striking similarities, they never seem to be the same. They look like hallways, bathrooms, living rooms, and kitchens. There are temporal or spatial anomalies in some places, when objects seem to phase in and out of existence or shift location. They are the purported outcomes of deeds committed by the Maker, the only known entity residing on the level. In 2016, Arlene Circle sent Team Ares, commanded by Ian Marrow, to the Whiteout in order to map the level. At the time, they managed to determine that the space consisted of 52 rooms of all kinds, 21 corridors, and 5 staircases. Over 5 years later, in 2021, after reports stating that the maps they had made were incorrect, the team was sent to the same place to start mapping again. It was then determined that the level now consists of 77 rooms, 35 corridors, and 9 staircases. They came to the conclusion that the Whiteout is constantly increasing its size over time. Every year from that discovery, small groups of 4 to 7 Compass Point team members are sent to see what changed on the level and update the map. Additional information. Log number 001. The first time entering the Whiteout is quite unpleasant for most people. There aren't many Backrooms levels with such a high intensity of light. Long-term exposure to it may result in sleep deprivation and partial blinding at worst. However, this is rarely considered a problem for most people. It all depends on how our body adapts to the intense stream of light. Arlene Circle, Team Hermes. Structure. Image caption, photo of 2 similar statues on pedestals. The structure of the Whiteout is diverse. All the rooms are faded, as are the objects in them. Everything is composed of an unidentified, silky material that resembles quartz and is nearly soft to the touch. The level's surfaces are impervious to dirt and will progressively repair themselves after being damaged. Various avant-garde furniture pieces and miscellaneous items scattered about the space, including on the ceiling, are common in the rooms of the Whiteout. The walls frequently have holes in them that lead to nothing or other areas. Occasionally, they contain modest, commonplace stuff. The level has staircases of varying diameters, most of which lead to dead ends. Nevertheless, some of them have sculpture rooms at the top. The walls are covered in faded photographs. They show what appear to be deserted grasslands or foggy cities. Theoretically, they could be similar to other Backrooms levels. Because those photos have so many parallels to several recognized levels in the Backrooms, it is difficult to determine which ones. Show images. Image caption, most often seen images hanging on the walls. Rooms, despite their striking similarities, never seem to be the same. They resemble spaces like kitchens, living rooms, bathrooms, and corridors. Sculpture rooms. Image caption, photo of 2 similar statues on pedestals. Sculpture rooms are individual rooms with 1 to 4 sculptures placed on pedestals. All the sculptures found in these rooms are distinct from other humanoid figures with minor abnormalities, such as a 3rd leg or hand. Sometimes, sculptures disappear from the pedestals and appear in other rooms in different poses, as if they were alive. They were seen by wanderers acting out various scenes from human life. There have never been documented accounts of how they move. The most popular of the theories claims that the Maker rearranges them himself. Pale Garden. Image caption, photo of the Pale Garden. The Pale Garden resembles a large, closed garden with unusual plant-shaped pillars instead of plants. The largest ones reach to the ceiling and split the light flowing from the windows on the wall. All corridors in the Whiteout converge to one of the 4 entrances. It is the largest room in the entire level, its size approximately 40 meters by 80 meters by 10 meters. In one of the corners, there is a piano that plays on its own. Music played in it is really calming to many. According to people who have listened to it, these weren't pieces of music they had ever heard. Every single time it was different. One theory claims that the music played by the piano was created by the Maker, who was inspired by music from the front rooms. In the middle of the room, there is a pedestal with a book on it that cannot be moved, titled Thoughts, written by the Maker. None of the people who read it remember a single sentence from it. They could only describe what the book was about. Show description. I recall how fascinating the book was to read. The maker wrote a great deal about himself inside. Although he was fairly critical of himself, he was nevertheless optimistic. His passion for creating is detailed in the book Thoughts, how he attempted to transform emptiness into something beautiful. Additionally, the maker wrote about all of his creations, both successful and unsuccessful, and the lessons they taught him. The narrator described how he enjoys observing beings who appreciate his creations from various angles. After finishing the reading, I had the impression that the maker was a kind person I had encountered in a dream, but eventually forgot about when I woke up. There were a lot of empty pages that could be filled with text. The more the Whiteout expands, the more thoughts will be written. Ian Moran, Arlene Circle, Team Hermes. The Maker. Concord Entity Classification System. Entity ID, non-applicable. Habitat or habitats, isolated. Indexed Entity Threat Score. Danger, unknown. Intelligence, unknown. Class, humanoid. Properties, non-applicable. Image caption, artistic version of the Maker, made by Kataya Hall. Description, the Whiteout has been observed being supernaturally manipulated by one enigmatic individual. There are recordings of him moving between walls and then vanishing after being seen. Although only one face is being used at the moment, this entity is a humanoid being with 5 faces surrounding his head. He is dressed in a floor-length suit and a white hat. The Maker dislikes being filmed or photographed, and images of him usually become faded soon after being taken. He was formerly known as the Man in White, but when explorers began referring to him as the Maker, he was given a new name that better reflects his true nature. Judging by one of his statements, and what was supposedly written in the Pale Garden's book, we came to a conclusion that he could be the creator of the Whiteout. Everything from the walls, furniture, and sculptures to the anomalies found here are all his creations. The Maker is an artist who expresses his love for creating throughout everything you can see around you in the Whiteout. Behavior. The Maker poses no threat to humans. He doesn't care about their appearance in the level, but sometimes, when in close contact, he slightly waves his hand to greet them before disappearing. He very rarely communicates with people that are in the Whiteout. His voice is comparable to the low, trained voice of a singer. There are reports of his white posture being spotted at other levels, such as 147, such a familiar route, and 91, but a memory. They have to be taken with a grain of salt, because they have never been confirmed. It could very well be another entity. Log number 003. The following interview took place on 09/12/2021 in the Whiteout. Team Hermes, while making a new map of the level, came across the Maker creating a lamp in one of the rooms. Morgan K took out a camera from his backpack. After pointing it at the Maker, the lens broke, which made it impossible to record the entire incident, but the audio was still recorded. Morgan hid the camera in his backpack so that it wouldn't attract the Maker's attention again. This is the transcription of the audio. Excerpt from 9/14/2020, interview with the Maker. Morgan K says nothing. There's nothing to be afraid of here. Just admire. The Maker. Yeah, this place looks beautiful. Morgan K. I know you want to ask me something. I give you 2 chances. Use them well. The Maker. Why did you create this place? Morgan K. I did it for my personal needs. I like to express myself. The Maker. Are you a human or something else? Morgan K. I'm whatever you think I could be. The Maker. Shortly after, the Maker walked into a wall as he had finished working on the lamp. This is the only confirmed recorded audio of the Maker, as well as the longest known conversation with him. Additional information. Thanks to the safety of the Whiteout, it is often one of the most important points of interest for many travelers and even groups. There are few known places that guarantee such a high level of security in the Backrooms. Due to its properties, the Whiteout cannot be under the control of anyone other than the Maker. Many groups arrange a meeting on this neutral ground because of this reason. The Meg, Arlene Circle, and Eternal Repository are the most frequent organizers of events such as these there. Entrances. The Whiteout is easily accessible through the doorways found on level 287, glitched halls. This goes both ways. There are several dozens of them placed throughout the corridor. All can be recognized by the very bright light coming from behind. To exit the level safely after your stay, try to remember the nearest way to the wall. Exits. Image caption. Do you really want to see the imperfections? Note. see level 485, the Blackout,